I had already written a huge chunk of this video, but then I changed a bunch of things because, well, I just beat Battlefield 6, and if you ask me, oh, are you gonna be using Battlefield 6 campaign gameplay footage? No, I won't. I'm actually gonna use my multiplayer footage because I have a bunch of it, and I kind of want to show you guys some gameplay from multiplayer as well, so that's basically it. But we're gonna be talking about the campaign, and honestly, if you guys want to watch some footage from the campaign, you can just check out the whole series I have on my YouTube channel covering it. So that's basically it, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video and talk about the whole Battlefield 6 campaign. No spoilers or anything, because, you know, we don't want to do that. We're just gonna talk about what I think about the campaign. And I've said campaign so many times at the start of this video that if I say it one more time, I think people are gonna have a fucking stroke. Oh, and by the way, if you guys enjoyed this video by the end of it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's free and helps me out. I'm trying to beat 400 subscribers before the end of the year, so please help me out. I'm recording this because I'm sick at home, so I don't have to go to university or work. So, you know, it takes a long time for me to make these videos, especially the scripts. So, yeah, thank you so much, and let's go jumping right into the video. For starters, I have to say a few things about the story and setting of the game. So first of all, Battlefield 6 reimagined Modern Warfare in a way that Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 couldn't. We've seen the use of drones, FPV, and suicide drones, which is something very prevalent in Modern Warfare nowadays. I know these things weren't used back in the day when Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 came out. Actually, not used as much, they weren't used at all because most of this technology didn't even exist, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to fact check that, so if you guys want to, go ahead, but I haven't seen anyone using stuff like that back then. We started seeing these things more with The Division. That's when we saw more of the usage of drones and all that, but in Battlefield we hadn't, and now that we do, I gotta say it's kind of crazy to see how war in the age of drones is represented here, seeing that in multiplayer we also have drones to spot enemies and all that, and that people actually go around looking for them is wild. I know we had the MAV or the MAV in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 maybe, I don't remember, but it was different. You could still spot people, and I used to spot people a lot, but still, it wasn't that crazy compared to the drones now. They're faster, harder to hit, and overall much more dynamic. I gotta say it was really interesting to see how they actually approached this topic, and it hit me hard to think that people actually fight against drones in real life, and that's insane. It was really good, really cool to see in game too, the way enemies sometimes focus a lot on drones and what they're capable of. It was nice seeing this kind of usage represented in the game. Mind you, I still think drones are OP as fuck in real life, and honestly, kind of dumb, because, you know, you're being killed by a cheap Alibaba drone filled with explosives or carrying some mortar rounds, but again, if they're present in our world, it makes sense to see them in-game as well, especially since Battlefield 6 isn't set that far from us timeline-wise, considering that the world's been through recently. This brings me to the political tone of Battlefield 6. It kind of balances realism, fiction, and modern geopolitics pretty well. I know we don't have Pax Armata, but we do have NATO, and we do have NATO's enemies. I'm not gonna go into politics that much or debate who is right or wrong in the war in Ukraine, for example, because I have some very heated opinions about it. I could explain why I think both countries are wrong, but then again, this isn't a political channel. I'm not here to talk politics. Everyone has their own views, and that's it. One argument I always use is that for Germans, Americans were the enemy, they were wrong, and the British were also wrong for their own reasons, and for the Allies, France, the United Kingdom, and the US, the Germans were wrong. So I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole, but what I will say is that the game raises some interesting questions, so heavy spoilers, I guess. And I also kind of think like that. We see the CIA using the enemy, and honestly, I don't think that's far-fetched at all, especially when you think about some Middle Eastern insurgencies where foreign militaries toppled governments and suddenly you had a bunch of civilians with weapons out in the streets, angry, creating real insurgencies. So yeah, I don't think it's far-fetched, and the game explores that idea really well. I love that the game shows how corrupt people can be for random reasons. So for patriotism, or maybe fake patriotism. I don't know, but I kind of agree with Paxarmata at some points. That idea of patriotism actually brings me to my next thought about the story. There's a very human side to Battlefield 6, so characters feel more real sometimes. If we compare Battlefield campaigns, all of them had good characters, but Battlefield 6 can feel a bit shallow in some ways. Like, we don't know much about Carter, for example, or Gecko. We have a faint idea of their morality and everything because we play as them or alongside them in other missions. It shows us a bit of who they are, but not too deeply. I think the one who feels the most human and well explored is Lopez. Lopez is the medic or support, and I gotta say, he's the most human character. And small spoiler, he gets shot by a sniper in one of the missions, and develops PTSD from it. And if psychological problems aren't enough to convey humanity in a character, I don't know what is, you know? Seriously, that moment hits. You clearly see his trauma, and it's very powerful. And overall, I really enjoy the characters. Most of them are really cool. Hemlock's probably the most badass character in the game, and many people, including me, are comparing him to Ghost, saying he's Battlefield's Ghost. If we get more Battlefield games with these guys, I think we'll see him in a more active role. So yeah, it was very good, very good, very cool. A really cohesive group of soldiers, and you can feel that throughout the game. When it comes to gameplay and mission design, I'm not going to talk a lot because there is honestly not much to say. Basically, I think Battlefield 6 campaign handles player freedom in a very linear way. It's not open, but you can choose your path more or less. It's different from Battlefield 5 where you could literally go stealth all the way if you were good enough. Here, it's still pretty linear. Sometimes you get pulled into a cutscene or something scripted happens. It's more like old school Call of Duty, you know? Or like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. The campaign leans more towards Battlefield 3, I'd say, which is a good thing. The stealth and chaos balance the game goes for gives you a few playstyle options, but most of it is still scripted. So scripted chaos or scripted stealth missions. For example, when you're playing Night Raid, there's a part where, yeah, you can go full-on chaos mode, but honestly, it's easier to go stealthy and not draw too much attention. So, for that reason, I gotta say, it's fine. You know, it's not super open, it's not GTA 5, but it's also not just Rambo the video game. As for the difficulty, it wasn't that hard. I played on the hardest difficulty and I kind of wanted to play it in a more realistic way, like I did in Battlefield 3 for most of the game, and Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I ended up not doing that. I just played on the hardest setting and that's it. I died a couple of times, but nothing insane. Maybe it didn't feel insane because I've played literally every single Call of Duty on Veteran or Realism when available. So, I don't know, it was pretty okay. And I played a bunch of Dark Souls back in the day and Bloodborne and Demon Souls. So, you know, difficulty kind of doesn't affect me at all. Enemies aren't bullet sponges, which is good. The gameplay feels very smooth. The only real difference is that you kill enemies normally, not too easily, and they kill you faster. That's it, basically. You're weaker, or better said, you're just a human being. So yeah, it's survivable, sure. You can be revived and all that. I played with no revives though, so if I died, I'd restart from the checkpoint. If it was the mission, I'd be pissed, but you know, I think the hardest mission was probably the one where you're looking for the drone operators in Brooklyn or New York. That one was kind of tough, but not because it was really difficult. You know, there were a lot of enemies, but it was more about the checkpoints I got. Some of them were very just shitty. Other than that, it's okay. I think Battlefield 6 actually went in a very cinematic direction. The camera work, music, basing, everything was just really cinematic. If you have a powerful computer, you can crank every single fucking graphic setting up, turn off the HUD, and just play. It's gonna be an amazing experience. The camera work, the music, all of that I already mentioned, it's just so damn good, it looks incredible. In the environmental destruction in the campaign, brother, the Levolution actually made sense in single player for real. You see a jet destroying an entire radar or whatever the hell that thing was, crashing into it and blowing everything up. Sometimes you shoot down a chopper and it will crash right next to you. There's just so much happening. You see entire buildings collapsing to the ground in one of the first missions. Sometimes you literally blow up the side of a whole building and you're like, what the fuck? So yeah, it actually makes sense in multiplayer as well. And now I wouldn't say it's the most immersive Battlefield has ever been. There are definitely moments where the campaign hits different, but it's not insanely immersive. Battlefield 1 is still the most immersive, I guess. The campaign here isn't bad, but it's not the best either, at least in my opinion. I still think Battlefield 3 holds the title. Sure, Battlefield Bad Company 2 also had a great campaign, or has a great campaign, but I think Battlefield 3 still owns that most immersive Battlefield campaign crown, probably. The sound design is also amazing. Tier, honestly, the explosions, the ambience, everything just feels so good. And by that time, I didn't activate war tapes. I didn't even think you could activate it. You know, I took a quick look, but I didn't find anything. So yeah, and I even thought, fuck, if you can activate war tapes, do it. And if you can't, what the fuck, guys, gives us war tapes, you know? And I even wrote, I'll take another look later, maybe in a future video, I'll tell you guys more about that. But no worries, I already checked and I already activated. There is war tapes and there is a better version of war tapes. So pretty good, honestly. If you guys are gonna play the campaign, activate war tapes in the audio settings. Trust me, if you don't know what that is and you're not a Battlefield player at all and you don't know, just follow my lead, go to audio, find that fucking option and activate war tapes. It's literally the best thing you're gonna do in your life. And honestly, guys, I haven't played Call of Duty's campaign this year, and honestly, I won't. But I did play Battlefield 6, the whole game, and I'm even gonna replay it to get all the collectibles because I'm that type of guy. But still, I don't think Battlefield is gonna lose to Call of Duty this year. Call of Duty dug its own grave with Modern Warfare 3, the new one, and with Warzone. What they did to it was just, yeah. So I don't know, I think they're not gonna pull it off, especially because it's a futuristic game. You know, there are robots and shit, and like I said in one of my comments on Call of Duty's posts online, if I wanted to play a futuristic game, I just play Halo, which is way better than Call of Duty will ever be. So yeah, even if the Call of Duty campaign had full-on titties, I don't think it would win this year. Honestly, that's my projection based on literally everything I've seen. And don't call me a Battlefield fanboy because I'm not. I've played every single Call of Duty campaign, even that shit Vanguard, all of them on Veteran. I've got the Platinum Trophy on almost every Call of Duty out there. The only one I didn't was Modern Warfare 2 Remastered because, man, I wasn't about to do that pit master thing, running through the pit trying to get the best fucking time. So, nope. Other than that, yeah, I did everything. I've replayed these games millions of times. I've played every Call of Duty, even the PSP one, over and over again, even the PS Vita one. So yeah, I just want to say that the Battlefield 6 campaign is very worth playing again. There's replay value, the hidden details, the collectibles, they actually make you want to replay it. And the fact that I can finish the campaign and then just uninstall just the campaign, that's so good. My computer loves that idea. More space for me. That's really nice. Honestly, I think this campaign probably taught DICE a lesson for Battlefield 7 and a campaign. In 2042, there was no campaign, and people were saying, we don't care, we only play Battlefield 6, Battlefield for the multiplayer. Then the multiplayer sucked ass, and people were like, yeah, we could have had a campaign instead of this random-ass extraction shooter mode that no one played. So, for real, I think they need to add a campaign in Battlefield 7 when they release it, if they release it, because honestly, I think Battlefield's gonna live for a long time. I'm gonna be ambitious and say maybe a 10-year lifespan. I don't know, maybe, who knows? But yeah, it actually felt really good. I genuinely feel like they could release expansions for the campaign. Not like Modern Warfare 3 being an expansion from Modern Warfare 2, but real proper expansions, continuing the story over time without releasing a whole new game. Because, come on, Battlefield's gonna live longer than COD. COD got so bad that they have to release a new one every single year. And I've always thought about that, like, man, why do they release a new game every year, you know, when most of them are just the same? It's kind of like playing FIFA, you know? And apparently my webcam died. I kind of wanted to make a, you know, like an ending saying like, hey, thank you guys, and showing my face. But I'm not gonna do that because, well, my thing's not working and I'm not gonna set up my phone like a random ass dude. So, yeah, that's about it. Like I said before, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment your opinion on Battlefield 6. Do you think the campaign is good? What do you think, you know? I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I'm gonna replay it. I've been playing a lot of multiplayer as well, so I hope you guys have enjoyed as well if you played the whole game. If you didn't, go ahead and play it. It's really fun. And if you're not gonna play it, at least watch the videos that I'm posting. I'm posting every single mission. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Comment, subscribe, leave a like, do whatever you want, and share with your friends. And if you didn't like, leave a dislike, but tell me down below in the comments what you think, but be respectful. And, you know, you guys can help me out even if you didn't like the video. So, thank you so much, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.